Welcome to this symposium by Indica. Indica, as you know, was called Indic Academy, and it is a university, in the words of our founder, Sri Harikiran Garu, a non-traditional university for traditional studies, committed to the protection, promotion, and preservation of Indian culture, Indian knowledge systems in all the forms, in their textual form, in their experiential form, in their embodied form, with the aim of well-being of all beings. Indic Academy has several platforms, several wings of it. And from the wing, which is itself called Indica, Indica has been organizing events of this kind, which are of two types, conferences and symposiums. Conferences are those where we send out call for papers and people send abstracts, the scholars send their abstracts. We select from the abstracts, and selected paper presenters come and present their papers. But today's event is a symposium. We have been organizing these symposiums. Several of them have been organized already. We are crossing around 25 or so. And this particular format is that where we invite scholars, only invited scholars give their talks in this format. And we have been choosing topics for these symposiums from the range of literature, language. There is a wing of Indica, which was originally called Indica Classical Library. Now it is being called Center for Bharatiya Languages. From that platform and from many other platforms, including our Center for Soft Power, we organized symposiums. It is our founder, Harikiran Vadlamani Garu, who comes up with these very, very interesting topics for the symposiums, including the present one. He, a few days ago, called me and mentioned this topic and asked me, how would it be for a symposium? As always, I said, wonderful. Because this particular topic, topics should be such that they have to come from the minds of audience also. This particular topic, I think, has always been on the minds of observers of Indic knowledge systems. Whenever they see Shastra scholars, they get amazed that, oh, this scholar is knowledgeable not just in the Shastra for which he is known, say, for example, Nyaya, or Vyakarana, or Vedanta. He is able to talk about the other Shastras also. Now, his non-speciality topics also sufficiently well-grounded. And there are some of these traditional scholars who limit themselves only to this versatility nevertheless, but versatility only to the extent of Shastras. But there are other scholars who have been well versed on the traditional Shastra side and also on the modern side of scholarship. Once they ventured into modern side of scholarship, they went into areas like modern mathematics. For example, Professor Krishnamurti Ramasubramanian, whom we invited and he was not able to come because of his travel abroad, is a traditional scholar with a training in Advaita Vedanta, and he is also a professor in mathematics and goes around the world giving talks about not just mathematics in a contemporary way, but the history of mathematics in ancient India also. There are many such scholars who are ambidextrous on both sides, traditional and contemporary side of scholarship. They are very well versed. Sri Harikiran Garu used to always say that he is always surprised about this uh, ability of the traditional scholars. They straddle among various areas, not just shastras. Some of them go into music, dance. For example, just the other day, we had a talk by a very renowned traditional scholar, Maheshwaranji, in our Global Wellness month-long conference. He is a classical Carnatic musician, vocal, and also he knows tabla. When you look at his traditional scholarship, his command over Mimamsa and Advaita Vedanta and all that, you might not even imagine that he is also a musician. That way, we have many such traditional Shastra scholars who are skilled at more than one, even skill area, not just Shastra knowledge area. Sri Harikiran Garu expressed his amazement and admiration for this, and he was wondering whether we can bring an analysis for why it is so. Why traditional scholarship, why Shastra scholarship is able to create such versatile geniuses. In fact, versatility of scholarship is not limited to traditional scholars. We are not saying that. Our claim in this symposium is not that. In fact, there were suggestions of names to me when I was curating this symposium from very good names among Indic scholars who were versatile, who had command in multiple academic disciplines. But we limited this symposium to focusing on scholars with Shastra background only. How scholars with Shastra background are able to get into multiple Shastras. We have autobiographical talks today where such a polymath ambidextrous scholar himself explains from the horse's mouth, from his first-hand experience, how that was possible, how he or she was able to get into multiple areas, how his Shastra scholarship helped. And there are talks about ancient Shastra scholars like Bharata Muni himself, for example, Natya Shastra, and Abhinava Gupta, Oja. There are many, very big list of bahumukhaprajnaa, Shalin scholars from the ancient time. And we are, as always, it has to be like that. We picked up a few, and today there is going to be a talk on Natya Shastra uh, and two talks on Vyakarana Shastra. These two are two different kinds. Natya Shastra, as a Shastra, the book itself has multiple areas covered. But Vyakarana Shastra, by its nature, how it gets connected to the other Shastras is being covered. And there are specific examples being chosen from the recent past, like our Dr. Jamal Kumadaka Srinivas Garu is going to talk about Rajeshwara Shastri Dravidji, who was a scholar in Nyaya and other traditional Shastras, but he wrote a commentary to Artha Shastra. So, how he was able to straddle, and in that commentary, his knowledge of contemporary political science, governance, constitution, all these are also reflected. How he was able to straddle into those areas is going to be covered by him. And there is going to be a talk by our Dr. Sushruta about how the Gurukula system works and how that pedagogy itself has a provision for uh, command over multiple shastras. So the range of topics being covered today are so diverse. We were so lucky to get great stalwarts like Shatavadhani Ganesh ji and Professor Madhusudan Penna, who have made their name. Shatavadhani Ganesh ji is an example from the senior generation, and Professor Madhusudan Penna is an example from the present generation for such multi-talented, versatile geniuses who have come from Shastra background. So we have asked them to give their own experience. Professor Sripada Subramaniam is also going to join us to give such an autobiographical talk. He is also into multiple Shastras and Shastra scholarship. And he remained a traditional Shastra scholar with command over all the three Shastras and mastering all the three Shastras that he commanded. So we have such uh, very well served meal today. Wonderful arrangement of variety of talks, autobiographical, analytical, and other kinds of talks, focusing on text, focusing on Shastra, focusing on individual scholar, and all the different kinds of talks.